Hello, how are you? My name is Donna Lovette, and I want to welcome you to the Destiny to Dynasty journey, where you're going to watch me follow my mentor's blueprint and see how I earned my first $1 million online. And I'm very excited about this journey. It's been a little bit time since I've connected with you. And the last time I did a video, it was on how to decide the structure of your business, the advantages and disadvantages of a nonprofit and an LLC. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover with you the steps that to starting your own LLC. And even if you have one, you might want to watch this because I'm going to give you all kind of resources, and it'll be a way of making sure you've covered all the bases. Can you see the advantage of that? So I am going to be looking at my notes throughout because I have so much to share with you. I don't want to miss anything, so you'll see me glancing down at my notes pretty frequently this time around. So one of the things that you want to do as you're starting your LLC is to decide the viability of your business. In other words, is there a need for what you do? So there is a law that's called the law of compensation, which says that you are paid in direct proportion to the need for what you do, your ability to do it well, and how difficult will it be to replace you. The need for what you do. You know, does your product, does your service solve a problem that enough potential people would want to purchase? I had someone, I'm not kidding. I saw this invention where this guy created a hat that when you put this hat on, it gave you a beard that to me looked like a fake beard. It was literally a hat, guys, that you put on your face, and when you put it on, you have this fake beard under your face. Now, is there a need for that kind of product? I don't know. I don't see it, but it could be. But if there isn't a need, then he's not going to be very prosperous with that particular creative idea. So is there a need? Is there a problem that you are solving? And it is such a needed problem that people are willing to pay you for the solution. So is there a need for what you do? How well do you do it? Because in this day and age, you have to operate in excellence. Just because, you know, a lot of people say a lot of things that they're not able to really do very well. I remember somebody who wanted to open up a baking business. And when she brought over some of her baked goods, they were not real good. I didn't even have the guts to be able to say, I don't know how you're gonna make any money on this. This is not good. I've tasted some good baked goods. This ain't one of them. So you gotta be able to do what you do well. And how easy is it to replace you? In other words, there has to be enough originality about your approach, your personality. Something has to be unique in how you do what you do so that it would not be easy to replace you. If you work for McDonald's, you get a minimum wage income because that position is easy to replace, right? But if you are a specialized, if you're a doctor who specializes in the cure of cancer, for example, now that's not very easy to replace, right? So you want to be sure that what you do is unique enough, good enough, creative enough, that it's not going to be easy to replace you. So you want to give a whole lot of thought to what you are wanting to offer people before you set up your business, either nonprofit or LLC, right? Does that make sense? So that's the first thing. Is your program, product necessary, needed? Now, the second thing that you need to do is that once you've decided what you want to do, you have to develop a business plan. How are you going to accomplish it? What are your steps? Now, I am going to be able to share with you guys the ability for you to set up a LLC business in 30 days, business in a box, that when you are finished at the end of the 30 days, you'll have a website, you'll have everything in place to be able to actually run a business in 30 days and earn your first $5,000 in 30 days. Now I'll share, a little bit with you for those of you who might be interested, and it won't be for everybody, but however you do it, you need to have a strategy and a plan to do to run your business, correct? Second, third, you need to have a business name. Now you want to be very selective in your business name because it reflects you. I know there's some people that want to have a business name after their name, like the Donna Levette business. And that might be okay, but if people don't know you and you put DonnaLevette.com as your website, then they may not click on it because they don't know you. They don't know me. They may not know me enough to want to yet to be able to pick on just my name and know what it is that I offer. So you really want to give some idea of a name that when people hear it, it's catchy, but at the same time, it gives them some idea of what you are going to do. Now, when you pick up your name, once you decide your name, you want to be sure that your name is available. You need to research it to make sure that nobody else in the state, and possibly if you have a national vision, that no one else, in the United States has your name. How can you research that? So there are several ways you can research that, and I would really recommend that you do. Nothing is worse than to have this name, develop a business, and then all of a sudden find out that there are 10 other businesses in your state, in your city, that have the same name. Wouldn't that be awful? That's like a girl buying a prom dress, and then you walk into your prom or you walk into the ball and there are 15 other women wearing your same outfit. Horrible. Not the same thing, but similar. So this is how you will search. The number one, you can search by your state. Most states have a website that you can go on and research a name to see if there's any other business in that state under your name. Now, I am going to leave in the click below because I'm from Michigan. I'll share with you the link that you can look for in Michigan. But part of the advantage of you looking at that is that you'll be able to see if there's a similar kind of state, and I'm sure that there is, a state link that you can find for your state so you can research it. So research your state. Another way to research is just Google it. Google, you can do almost anything on Google, isn't that right? So you just put your name of your business in Google and see if any other name pops up. Now, a name may pop up, but that business might not be incorporated. It may not be trademarked. And for some reason, you might want to still pursue that. I don't know if you would, but you Google it just to see if the name exists. Another way to research it is you want to look for a trademark engine. And because if a business is trademarked and that business name is copywritten and trademarked, then you definitely can't use it. And you want to know that in advance, correct? And so there is a website that you'll see below called Trademark Engine, trademarkengine.com, but you'll see that below. And that will give you some idea of organizations in the country that already have a trademarked name. The other, what else? There is a domain name. Because once you pick your organization name, you want to have your website use your name, right? You want people to be able to find you on the internet. So you can go to organizations like, and I have those listed below, bluehost.com, godaddy.com, namecheap.com. Those are organizations that you can look free and just put in the name to see if that name exists. And if this is a name that you're kind of sure that you want to have as your organizational name, save that website. You know, you want to be sure you save that so you can, you know, that domain name, so you can create a website using your business name. Now, there are organizations like LegalZoom. There are organizations that will help you to set up a LLC and help you set up any number of organizations like LegalZoom.com, ZenBusiness.com, Northwest Registered Agent.com. You know, so there are a variety of agencies that can help you set up your LLC. I happen to use LegalZoom, and I love using them. They made the process easy. They did the name research for me. You know what I'm saying? They knew all of the articles and the things that you needed to have when you actually fill out your LLC application. I would really recommend that you use an organization like LegalZoom or someone. Do that. It'll just make your life so much easier. They will make sure that your organization is set up correctly and that you have all of the documents, the articles of incorporation you need, you know, who's your registered agent. Now you can be the registered agent. You can be the registered agent in your organization. Just let you know that. Some people will encourage you to hire somebody else to do that. I've always been my own registered agent, and that means that information came to me. I was the one responsible for sending in any information, any annual reports, any of that. I did it. So I guess you're gonna have a choice to choose someone else to do that if you want to. But I would recommend that you use an organization. Just make life easier, and they help you so that you can get incorporated in a relatively short period of time. And it don't cost. It won't cost a lot of money. There is a website that I have here that gives you some ideas of the state fees, because there is a fee to open up an LLC in your state, and it will vary from zero. I saw one state, I said, wow, zero? So $0 to $100, you know, or more. So there is a website called upcouncil.com and /annual license fee by state. You know, it's a long URL. You'll see that below. But when you click on it, it will give you the cost of setting up what the fees are in your state. Now, let me tell you why I think it's important for you to know that, because you'll have an organization that will claim to help you to set up your LLC, and they may charge you thousands or hundreds. And you need to know, okay, this is all you need for the state. All this extra, all this other stuff is extra. Like LegalZoom, I believe their fees were like 25, depending on how much work you had them do for you, it might be $25, $100 plus state fees. I want to know what your fees are. If I'm going to use you to help me, what are your fees and the state fees? So you don't take advantage of me. I know that, wait a minute, my state has no fees, so I'm paying you $100,000 for this paperwork. I do it myself rather than pay you that. You know, some people decide to get a lawyer, but I'm telling you, in this day and age, these agencies will do good by you. So you will see that link below and you'll find it important. The other thing is that you do need to get a EIN number. And an EIN number is the same as your social security number, represents you. It identifies you as an individual. Your EIN number identifies you as a business. And there is, again, a link below on how you can go to the IRS and sign up for your EIN number. Your EIN number, guys, it's free. So again, if I'm getting someone to work with me, I want them to know that I know that the state fees are only going to cost this, getting an EIN number is only going to cost this, and the process is not difficult. So what are your fees? And then when I'm going to call different agencies and compare apples to apples, I'll know what you're legitimately charging me. You won't take advantage of my and charge me more than I know you need to. Does that make sense? So these are all things that you need to do in the setting up of your business. This helps you to make sure that your name is a name that you can use. Does that make sense? And if you have any questions or any comments as we're going through this, share it with me. I want to know what your thoughts are. Any comments, any questions as you go through this. Tell me, does this make sense? You know, type in the chat, understand you, with you, got it. Clear. I want to know that. The next thing you need to do is, obviously, once you have your business name and a business plan, you want to make the decision on the actual business structure. We talked a little bit more about that in that last video, so I'm not going to cover much on that. Again, I will share with you how to start a nonprofit business for those of you who might be interested in having both a profit and a nonprofit business. But I'm going to share that with you later on in the process. Once you've begun to earn money through your LLC, my goal for you is to have your LLC help to fund your nonprofit. And so I'll share with you how to set that up later. So once you have your business name and your business structure, now you need to, at some point, develop a website. Now, I am going to really share with you some mistakes of what some people do when they set up their website. And you will hear the term hub. It's a term that my mentor has put out in the industry, and you're going to be hearing more and more people talk about setting up your hub, which is slightly different than a website. And so, but you need to set up a website. And then I'll give you a resource in one of my future videos when I talk about websites more specifically. But you need to set up your website. After that, once you have a website, you need to know how to drive traffic to your website, right? You need to have skill and resources on marketing strategies. Not only marketing strategies, but how do you measure whether what you're doing is effective. So marketing strategies, I'm going to talk to you a lot more about that coming forward. The website, talk to you a lot about that going forward. And then once you have your website in place, you have all these things in place, now you're in a place where you can actually launch your business. And there should be a process to how you launch your business. So here are some, I know that I've done this briefly, but here are some resources. These are the steps that you need to set up your LLC. And again, you'll see some of the resources below. Now, let me share one thing before we close here, is that, guys, you are trying to set up a business that's going to last for generations to come. Am I right? So you're going to have some money. You're not going to be able to do this free. You're going to have to prepare. You know, it's going to cost you money to set up your LLC. It's going to take you money to set up a website. It's going to take you money to do marketing. There are things that you can do inexpensively, and I will share with you strategies of how to do things inexpensively. But at the same point, you're not going to be able to do something that's going to last forever free. And anytime you hear anyone say that we're going to offer you a way to do this free with no cost and no sweat, you don't have to know nothing, you don't have to do nothing, you don't have to pay nothing, then guys, it probably I wouldn't trust it. That's all I'm going to say. So just know that in advance, that if you're really wanting to set up an organization that's going to last for generations, and that's what we are setting up, right? Then you want to, and a legacy, that's what we're attempting to do, right? So what you want to do is to realize that you're going to have to figure out some way of financing the vision. You don't have to have it all at once, but you will have to do that. I just want to let you know up front. So tell me if this is helpful. For those of you that have already set up an LLC, have you done everything that I've mentioned here? Was there anything that I mentioned that you may not have known about? Are you excited about starting an LLC? I want to know. Tell me in your note, in the notes below. Do you already have an LLC? Do you want to have an LLC? Or how many of you plan to actually start one? So I'm hoping that what I've given you is helpful. If you have any other questions, if you need any additional resources from me, let me know. I want to encourage you, if you like what I'm sharing with you, to like my page. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, like it. And share this with other people that you know are definitely interested in starting a business. And share your comments and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel. And therefore, when I do the next video, you'll get noticed about. Also, I have and want to invite you to join my VIP group. What's interesting about the VIP group is that now what I'm doing is I'm sharing you some general information. If you become one of my VIP members, then I actually give you a lot more assistance and help. I walk you through some things as a small group. I can coach you individually. There are more resources that I put in your hands when you become a part of my VIP. So there's going to be a link below where you can see more about that, and I hope that some of you join that. Now, next time we meet, I'm going to talk to you about a hub and how do you set up a hub where you have multiple streams of income just naturally included in your hub setup. That's going to be interesting. So guys, I hope you found this very helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you sometime in the future. Until then, be blessed.